Hello, beautiful human. Thanks for giving us a click of your time and tapping into our interview with Ava Max. We have a lot to discuss, Daniel.
Yes, we do.
And please, if you have something to say it in the comment section and like our videos and subscribe. I beg you. I think Ava Max is in this Zoom room.
Let's do this. Zach Sang Show.
How are you guys?
Great.
Are you
What?
wearing a
Thank you.
beret?
Oh yeah, actually, you know what's hilarious? I haven't worn a beret since like literally Sweet Potato came out, and I found it in like a box this morning, and I'm just like, you know what? I'll just put it
It is a beret day, and
on.
I don't know. I love it. I'm very I haven't seen a beret in quite some time. It's made me happy today.
Literally hilarious, right? No.
Clearly, I'm looking for happiness anywhere in this state of the world.
Oh
But
my god, I know.
I'm going to
How are
beret.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So happy to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I wish we would have done this in person because you are I did a deep dive on your music, and your story is so fascinating and so true, and the music you're putting out is the perfect amount of present and nostalgic for me, and it just, I don't know, it hits right.
Thank you. I can't
Yeah.
wait for you to hear the whole entire album. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I just know that like I really think it's impossible for me to write something that's not an anthem, because I feel like we've all been through stuff, but me personally, I feel like, I mean, just judging from my past and knowing my past and living my past, I definitely have a lot of like lightness and darkness to my past.
And you've been, the build up to this album for you has been years.
I know.
Can you just like take me into your brain for a second? Like, like why wait? Are you waiting for the right songs? Like, how do you know? Are you nervous? Like
It's been a tough decision because obviously we wanted to release it last year, and then the songs were just going so well, and then all of a sudden we had more singles, and then I mean the album's been like done, but it's been evolving. So the last 2 years it's been evolving. So there's a lot of old songs, but also new songs that I wrote this year. So I'm really excited to like share those songs with the world. They're kind of the best of everything I've written in the last 3 to 4 years.
Well, so, and that's saying something, which means maybe more singles out of it. Like, would you?
Oh my God, yeah, that's the tough part with this album. There's really no album filler.
Yeah, but that's the best problem to have.
But hey, we'll see what the audience thinks.
So, Kings and Queens, was that set to be on an album at one point? And will it eventually be on one or not?
It will be on the album, yes.
Empowering record. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can you take me into the lyrics of this song and what it was just like crafting it? Because it had to have followed a decently heavy conversation, in the room.
It's funny because my favorite sentence in there is no damsel in distress, no need to save me.
I literally wrote that down. That's
really?
So funny. Yeah.
Literally growing up, I used to say that. I literally used to say that. So I really wanted it in the song. And I feel like, being a girl, a short girl, I'm 5'2", like little petite, like everyone was treating me kind of like, oh, she doesn't know nothing. It's like, she's so cute, but it's like, no, like I have a voice too. I want to talk about what I want to talk about, and I'm not a damsel in distress. Like I can handle my own. I can be independent, and in my nature, I am so independent. So I definitely really resonate with that line.
I mean, a great record, like a song like that. How do you know that it's done? How do you know that it's where it needs to be?
It took a few times, changing it up, like the lyrics. I really wanted the lyrics to be empowering, and I wanted it to be a huge anthem. So the lyrics were super important. I mean, in every song, they're super important, but this in particular felt like a huge anthem, and I just felt like I needed to take my time with the lyrics, and I was really being critical and trying to make it like almost perfect. Nothing's perfect, but almost perfect. No, but Circuit, yeah, he
You guys go
he and I
back.
do everything.
I mean, because he's been on really, from what I was able to see, all but the record you did with AJ Mitchell, which my assumption is that was done before it came to you guys. But he's been like, I mean, you guys are synonymous almost, right?
It's insane. We do everything together. He's on every song in the album, and he's just super talented. I call him a genius, like literally a robot genius, because he can get on the computer and literally make the coolest beat in 2 minutes. Like I'm just like I literally like I'm like I'll be right back, go in the restroom or something, and then I come back and I'm like, what is this? Like what? And he just like made it in 2 seconds, like literally a genius. And so it's like in his DNA. He literally can't do anything wrong. And so, yeah, we write a lot of music together, and things happen like Kings and Queens, and the next single's coming up, and Super Psycho. And
How does the record start though? Is it starting with him, playing around and creating a beat in a couple minutes, or is it always starting with you with lyrics? Like, are you matching lyrics to his beat once it's done?
it's funny because I'm always the person who's like, I have the idea. I know exactly what I want to do. And then he's just like, all right, let's just vibe. I'm like, okay. I'm like that person who's like, da, 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 da. And no, but like then we vibe and it becomes better than we both ever expected. So I usually like to listen to the beat and then put my headphones on and literally just like go in on melodies, lyrics, like whatever comes out of my mouth. I close my eyes, and that's how I write. I just have to write on like a blank kind of sheet ish.
Does it start from real life, or how does because early on you were modeling your songs off of your brother's relationships, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's hilarious actually. My brother had a lot of relationships. No, but I think personally, I think there's only two ways to write a song, right? From other people's point of view or your own point of view. And that's really all we can write about, and just experiences we have and or see from other people. And so that's how I write. Usually when I was growing up, I had no love in my life at all. Like I didn't know anything about love, like who knows anything about love ever, right? But we kind of try and make up that, make up what we think love is or what we think love isn't, and go from there. And experiences like feeling like pushed down and beaten down. Like I feel like all my life I've had this one goal of trying to become, a singer, performer, and getting out there. And like my entire life has been that one goal. And so I write a lot about like pursuing that and not giving up. And it sounds cliche, but I mean, that's the only thing I had growing up, my music.
You were about to give up, and then you ended up at a birthday party, right?
I met Circuit, and yeah, that night was like almost fate. I would say it's weird. I always say like it's my grandma, like up in heaven, like doing her magic, and I'm like, thanks, grandma. Like, no, but I feel her sometimes, and I think that's one of those feelings, I have.
Your grandma. I think your brother has an interesting kind of role in your career. Like,
Yeah.
wasn't he at that dinner too?
Not my brother. Actually, my brother knew Circuit a couple of years before I knew Circuit. So that's actually another weird story. I thought like, they were going to meet for the first time. And then my brother's like, oh yeah, I've met Circuit. He's dope. And I'm just like, wait, what? How did I not know this? But I guess we both have different circles growing up.
Interesting. It's I don't know. It's
It was
very cool.
definitely fate for sure, because after that it felt like I could really create what I wanted to create in the space I wanted to create it in, and like kind of just like be myself and write about what I want to write about, not like what other people want me to write about.
Because that allows you it allows you the opportunity and the space to be vulnerable, because you have somebody around who understands you, knows you from the very beginning. Like you always have that safety, if that makes sense.
Oh my God, yeah. And I mean, I never thought I'd have that. I mean, coming to LA and being I came with my parents and then my brother, but like, ultimately I was by myself, going out and hanging out with people and trying to, share my music. And it was just like, it was lonely. So, at a point you feel like defeated,
Yeah.
but I think everything has a light at the end of the tunnel if you keep going. And that is true.
Yo, beautiful human. The time is now to sell what you don't want. Get rid of it. Make some moolah. And the only way to do it is with Mercari. Mercari is the best selling app. It is the only selling app. It's my favorite. I use it personally. Mercari is the way to get rid of the things you don't want anymore, or it's the way to buy the things that you need. Mercari is there for you if you want to buy or if you want to sell. Thousands of items being listed every single day, and they range from toasters to headphones to Pokemon cards. Right now, I'm selling some hella rare Pokemon cards on there, Dan.
Yes, you are. A nice holographic Charizard.
Maybe all the packs are still sealed, so I don't know what's inside. Ooh, that's what makes it good and super rare, right?
That's the good stuff. That's the expensive stuff. That's the stuff people want.
By the way, it's so easy to sell the stuff that people want, and it's so easy to buy the stuff that you want. But when you're selling, it's really easy. You snap a photo of what you want to sell, you write up a description, you post it on Mercari. When it's sold, you'll get an offer, you'll accept that offer, and then you get the shipping label. You print it out, you stick it on the box, and you send it off. You can even do it from your house. Ooh, you can ship from your home. No meetups, no hassles. Mercari really is the way to sell or buy the things you want. I love it. Honestly, I never thought I'd be an online seller until Mercari entered my life because I thought it was going to be so much work,
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, it's not. Mercari, the selling app, there's a bunch of reviews, 50 million downloads in all 50 states too, 700,000 reviews to be exact. Mercari, it's in the App Store. Check it out. If you want to buy something, Mercari, Mercari.
Do you remember by any chance, you probably have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Do you remember when we met at a party like 5 or 6 years ago?
What?
Yep, it was before Sweet But Psycho was released, and I was at some
No.
random party.
What party was it?
It was shortly after I
Oh,
moved
was it
here.
a Columbia party?
No, it was just some random regular house
That's
party.
like the only one I
I don't know
remember.
what I was doing
You
there.
have to say whose house party it was.
No,
I
who
don't
was
know.
that?
I don't
Wait,
know
I'm
whose
trying-
house it was. It was just real late at night, and I was hanging out with like 2 or 3 people, and you were with some girl, and we were just all talking. And I was like, "Yeah, I host a radio show," and you're like, "Oh, I'm a singer." I was like, "Okay, cool." So
Oh
I was
my
like,
God, wait. I'm a vampire. I still am, but I really was a vampire. I would be out late at night.
yeah, it was one of those like 3 o'clock in the morning type things.
What?
And it was crazy because then Sweet But Psycho blew up, and I was like, wait a minute, I think that's that girl from like 2-3 years ago that told me
Shut
she was
up.
a singer.
Shut up. Oh my
Yeah.
God. What was my girlfriend? Did she have dark hair or blonde hair? Because I have 2 really close girlfriends that I go.
I don't really remember.
You
I'm
have
in
no
shock.
details?
Huh?
You have no details? Like, who are you with?
I was just with these 2 people. We didn't know whose party it was. You know how it is. It's late night. You go to random parties.
No, I don't. I don't roll in. I don't have friends that go to
Especially
random
during a
houses.
pandemic, right?
Yeah. Sorry, it's 3 a.m. Let me go to a stranger's house. That makes total sense. That's the right move.
Wait, I must have
Okay.
not been at a stranger's house because I don't think I would have gone to a stranger's house.
Yeah, but I don't do that type of stuff either. But so it was very weird. I just remember the song.
Wait, stop. I wonder if it was someone I knew. It must have been, right?
It maybe. I don't know whose house I was at, and I didn't know you.
Was
We
this
were all
2
just
years
talking.
before Super Psycho or 1 year or like?
I would say this was like 2016 maybe. So about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's about the time I remember that time.
Well, now you're doing
Yeah.
charity work and giving us your time. I thank
We
you.
gotta
very
figure
much.
this out. We gotta figure this out.
Yeah,
I
can
know,
you
but it's
talk to
weird
your
because-
friends? Like, come to the table with more facts, Daniel.
I don't know facts. It's still one of those late night. Everything's a bit blurry.
Oh, jeez.
It's something I would say back then for sure. Oh yeah, that's cool. I'm a singer.
Yeah, and I said I'm a radio host. And usually when you meet people,
Okay,
you say,
okay.
"Oh, that's great," and then it's just cool to see that you actually are very successful now.
Wow, thank you. Really awesome. I mean, you know what's funny actually? You have a familiar face. Like I feel like I have met you, which I have.
Yeah, and the crazy part is, I think we both followed each other on Instagram, and then like a week later, unfollowed each other.
Oh my God. I cannot right now. You remember these details?
Yes.
What?
I love this. You don't know the house you were at. You don't know who you were with. You don't know the hair color of the person she was with, but you do remember being followed and then unfollowed on Instagram.
That is something people check, I guess, but
Jesus.
yeah. You know what? Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to memories.
Good to see you again.
Lost down memory lane.
Holy shiz.
That is the best thing I've ever heard. Yeah. I'm just going to drink to that.
By the way, in addition to having something special with Circuit, there's something with Madison Love too, right?
I love Madison. Yeah, you know what's funny? We got signed to the same publishing company and label without even like really knowing. We're like, wait, you're signed here too? And like, but we knew each other before we got signed. Yeah. So it's really cool that we ended up under the same kind of roof. And so it was kind of meant to be.
What is it about doing a record with her? Because she really is a prolific writer. Like, there's something special, right? There has to be.
I feel like a connection with her, especially because I've known her for 7 years. I've known her for 6 to 7 years. Yeah. Like, I've known her for a long time. So I feel like we know each other and like we feel each other. So when we're in a room together, I don't know who's hammering right now, but
casual.
All I hear is bam, bam, bam. No, okay, but literally, like, I'm cracking. Okay. I'm like, I hope I don't get edited out, hammering down. No. But yeah, Madison's really awesome. And we literally, I feel like a sister with her. Like we're on the same wavelength, you know, we're both like, I feel like we're both a little sweet but psycho.
Is there nerves after creating a record like Sweet But Psycho that is, I mean, come on, it was beyond a hit. Everybody knows it, synced everywhere. It is a blessing and a curse, right? Or no?
A blessing and a curse. Literally the first line of Sweet But Psycho. It is a blessing and a curse. It literally is. Because like everyone's like, you're that psycho chick. And I'm just like, ha ha. That's me. No, but literally, I'm like, and it's funny because I feel like I've been called psycho my whole life by my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. Like, I'm just like, okay, I guess this was meant to be.
You get the last laugh now because wherever you're at looks real nice, and that came from Sweet But Psycho, I am sure. So, fuck yes.
Oh my God, I can't even tell you how funny everything is about the word psycho in my life. Like, literally.
I mean, so your mom was a singer growing up, right? She sang opera?
Yeah, so back in Albania, it was super communist when she grew up. So she kind of went secretly to this music school. She didn't tell her parents. She walked like miles to get to a different music school instead of a regular school and didn't tell anyone. And so then someone found out and you know, back in the day, just like it wasn't cool to do music. It was more so like naughty in a way, like to not do the traditional like thing, you know. Totally. So it was a bad thing, and so she had to give up her dream. But her voice is insane.
So she must be so proud, like, right?
Yeah, she is. Like, we have moments where we're just like, this is kind of crazy, and she's living like her dream through mine, and we're just really happy because I feel like we've been kind of going at it for so long and trying. I went to my first competition with my mom when I was 7 years old in Florida. When I lived in Virginia, we would do our little road trip. We would go to Disney World and then we would go to this competition. Like, it would be so funny.
It was the Radio Disney thing?
It was a Radio Disney thing. And they used to come to the malls back then. I don't know if they still do it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if they do it now, but I remember it so vividly with like the red tent and the red tables.
Oh my God, it was so funny because I would always sing a Mariah song, an Alicia song, or a Whitney song. And then I did a Norah Jones song. But then I thought I'd be daring and do a Michelle Branch song. And then, you want to know hilarious? You want to know what's hilarious? Can I tell you? I did my first Radio Disney competition, and then I froze in front of so many people. I was like, Michelle Branch. I'm like, I'm only made up of Mariah songs. Yeah. I'm like, what? And so I literally only had Mariah songs in my head, and I had been practicing Michelle Branch, but I totally forgot the song I was supposed to sing. So I was like, And there's a video of me being like, bye, like literally didn't sing a word.
And how old are you? 7 years old?
7 or 8, yeah.
Wow.
How hilarious though. I only knew Mariah songs. And so when I tried to be daring and do something different,
So what does that tell you later on in life?
it tells me to stick to, things I like. I remember like my brother would be like, just try different artists. I know you're obsessed with Mariah. Just try singing different artists. So I tried and then I froze.
Never again.
What song were you supposed to sing?
Is it 1,000 Miles or
That's
that
Vanessa
something?
Carlton.
Is it Everywhere? Everywhere. is a good
Everywhere,
song.
everywhere. Sorry, not 1,000 Miles. Everywhere. You're like, that's Vanessa Carlton.
She was
See how
really.
much I know just about Mariah. Ask me anything about Mariah.
I mean, obviously, Mariah is both an amazing story to learn from, and in some ways, in some parts, a cautionary tale. So you can like look at her and really learn. Do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, she was an artist of a decade, right? At one
Yeah.
point. I mean, she is incredible, and the way she released album after album after album, it was like boom, 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 like all these amazing, incredible songs, and her voice, her performances, like her stamina, like especially in the 90s. I remember watching videos of her, and I'd just be like, she was hypnotizing.
She was. She really was. And by the way, in some ways, she still is. Like,
Definitely she is. I mean, it's just like every decade, I feel like we change as people. Like we don't stay the same, we evolve. And I love every Mariah in every decade.
are you planning on that evolution to be documented through music?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I would only hope so.
What's the biggest difference between Anyone But You and a record
know.
like Kings and Queens?
You know that deep cut.
Hell yeah, dude. That was the
You
first
know me.
circuit record, right?
Yes, and that was the song ultimately that got me signed. So it was funny. I put that song out on SoundCloud, and my mom sang opera in the beginning of it. I just wanted her little magic touch, and it worked. Her magic touch worked. Like there's so many labels reaching out, and that was the song that did it before I got signed. And SoundCloud. I don't know if that's still big right now,
But what's the difference between that record and the records you're putting out now? Like when you listen, I mean, there has to be a sonic difference.
The difference is 100 songs, over 100 songs written later. Like literally, I wrote so many songs between Anyone But You and Kings and Queens. I wrote like a lot.
Do you think songwriting is a muscle? Do you consider it that?
I believe everything is a muscle. Singing is a muscle. Songwriting is a muscle. I have people ask me all the time, like, oh, how can you sing like that? I'm like, because I sing all the time, and I grew up singing like literally every song. The biggest high notes, I would try and hit that every night. And it's like literally, I think I grew it into what it is now. I don't know if people are born with the talent. I want to believe that, but I did work my butt off. So
That's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, but you watch like the Genius interview. I watched a ton of those, and you may have had the best live
oh
singing
my God,
on
thank
Genius. I don't think anyone can just practice and do what you do when it comes to live singing.
You're very sweet. Thank you. I really think like if you train hard enough when you're younger, because I feel like you're growing and developing when you're younger. And I did that. I sang like literally every hard song, and I would try and hit it exactly like, and then like I feel like it was easier, as a kid. I feel like if you're just doing it as a kid a lot, you learn better. Yeah. Does that make sense? I don't know.
No, totally. You soak it in. Like, dude, I can look back at my childhood and be like, oh, there's weird parallels to what I used to do back then and what I do now, and things that like I would take for like that I would love doing that I didn't know was essentially working something within me to make what I do every day even possible. So I totally understand that.
Yeah, but also, Dan, I agree. Like it is somewhat genetic too, because my mom sang.
Yeah.
And so it's in my blood.
But you could have just let it lay dormant, you know what I mean? And just not do anything.
But I honestly would have probably been doing something completely different.
It seems like orange is a color or a theme you're going with now. Why orange?
So funny you asked that. I love orange, and orange is for me a little bit darker, and I feel like the next song I'm releasing is a little darker, and yeah, it feels dark to me, Orange.
So will this next song? Well, okay. Does this new album start at Kings and Queens?
No.
Hmm.
There's like so many new songs on the album no one's heard, so.
But in the public's eye, Kings and Queens, that's the start. Like every song you release from that will be on the album.
You mean from Kings and Queens?
Yeah.
There are a few or a couple older ones.
Okay. I'm just trying to keep track. Like I'm excited for this album.
It's coming so soon. Like
Like-
I've said that before, but this is like it's like around the corner.
I mean, like, yeah, around the corner could be like next week, month, a year.
I know it could be next week, but it's not next week. No, I'm releasing a couple more singles before.
So is there pressure in the studio after a song like Sweet But Psycho? Do you go through anything creatively? Or are you just like, yo, let's top it?
I'm insane. I feel like I'm a perfectionist in a way that's not healthy. And so I'm just in the studio like, that's not good enough. Like it starts with yes. And then an hour in, I'm so indecisive. I'm like, nah. So what was I thinking an hour ago? Who was I an hour ago?
You start gung ho.
Yeah, like some
And,
people are so decisive. That's not me. That I'm like, like explosion. Like
How does that play in the room? I mean, obviously you can be that because you're with people you're comfortable with.
oh my God, so funny. Everyone who works with me, they're like, make up your mind. I'm like, I can't. I can't do it.
So who do you go to? Who do you trust?
Circuit for sure.
Yeah.
My mom too. Oh, my dad will really be honest with me.
Yeah. What did he think of Sweet But Psycho before it came out?
It's so funny actually. He didn't think it was gonna be as big as it was. He's like, oh yeah, this is a great pop record. But he's like, I like this other one that's not released yet that we still have. And like, we're like, I like this one. It's more emotional. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. Okay, Dad. And then it like went.
Yeah.
And then he's on board. Then he's like, yes, this is a hit. I was like, really? Really, Dad?
But you could have another one. His ears could still be right.
No, but he loves the more emotional ones, like the more like where my voice, he likes it when my voice shines and like it's just like bam, vocals.
When you were recording Sweet But Psycho, were you confident that it was going to be a hit?
You know, I had something in my gut, but I didn't know for sure. No one knows for sure. But in my gut, when we would like hear it in the car, oh my God, everybody would be like, again. We'd be like, again, let's hear it again. And then we would play again. And then we'd be like, again, we need to hear it again. This is really fucking good. And then we're like, okay, we keep replaying it. That must mean something. And I'm replaying myself. That's a little weird. So I'm like,
You don't mind it. That's how you know.
exactly. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, enough of me. Like, it's so funny when I have family over, they want to hear all the new music and I play it, but then they want to hear it again. I'm like, no, not a second time. I got to leave the room.
Do you think the song got too big, if that even makes sense?
Yeah.
You do?
Really?
I don't think anything is too big. I just think I didn't expect it. I did not expect it, especially like I kept hearing the word global. They're like, global, it's global. I'm like, what do you mean it's global? This is insane. And so I think I didn't expect it to go everywhere, you know? It was very weird.
This might be a ridiculous question, but and maybe I'm just unaware of your I guess range, but like Mariah Carey is famous for her whistle tones.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Can you do that? Can you do whistle tones? You don't need to do it now, but I'm just interested.
There's
you?
a whistle tone in Psycho at the last chorus.
But so that's a genuine whistle tone.
Yeah, I do a lot of whistle tones in the last chorus. If you notice, like when you hear the album, a lot of the last choruses have whistle tones.
Is that going to be a follow through? Like
They're like layered.
Sick.
It's more like layers. Like I'll point it out to you next time when we put the album out.
Is the album finished? Like, are you done with it now?
It is finished.
But you're locked in. That scares you.
He's like, she's like, no, it is finished. It is, and I'm really excited. And we just shot something crazy for it a couple days ago. So
Sweet.
What
Lot
is
of
Who's
craziness.
Laughing Now? I see everyone asking about Who's Laughing Now.
so funny. So that song is coming out actually very, very soon. It's coming at the end of the month. You're the first person I'm telling. It's coming at the end of the month. And then I have another surprise right after, like literally a day after that. So there's 2 big surprises coming out at the end of the month. I'm really excited.
Whoa.
Hmm.
But yeah, Who's Laughing Now is a big anthem as well. It's really just about, it's a little bit of a revenge story. It's a little bit of a revenge story. And yeah, once you see the video, I think you'll understand it because I really wanted the video to tell the story. I'm
Does it?
playing like 3 different characters in it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's great. Does it stem from reality? Your reality?
Yeah, it does.
Easier or harder to write a song like that?
I think it's a little harder to definitely connect and sing it over and over again, a song like that afterwards. So when you sing the lyrics over and over again afterwards, you're just like, whew, that's crazy. I feel that, like I went through that. And also the video, all the 3 characters I'm playing, I went through that. And so you get a glimpse of the past, but in a more theatrical way.
How do you challenge yourself now in this creative process? Is it in the studio? Is it when it comes to visuals? Like,
Visuals. I love visuals. I see it, in my head. Right when I finish a song, I just see it. And when I don't see it, I'm like, this ain't the song. I'm like, I don't see it.
that's like a test.
Exactly.
So I want to know like what you saw with this new record. Like, but I'm interested. We'll wait for the music.
I don't want to spill too many secrets, but 3 major characters, and I play myself, so 4. It's gonna be,
Yeah. Is this like, I don't know if music videos go for Oscars, but like it's very rare that somebody's playing 4 characters.
Oh my God. Yeah, it was really fun. Isaac Rentz directed it, and we wrote the treatment together, and it was just a very fun experience. We did it right before isolation quarantine period, so it was like a day before they shut everything down. Can you believe that?
Literally a day before.
Yeah, it was literally a day before. And then we're like, how did we just get that the day before? Like,
How long does it take to shoot a music video where you're playing 4 different characters?
it was a long day and night. It was like 13, 14, 15 hours, something like that.
Oh wow. And it's
Yeah, a
probably
lot of
nonstop.
Coffee. By the end of it, I was so like, what's next? And then all of a sudden, crash, she's out. Like I'm in the backseat, like snoring. Like,
I can't stop thinking about you saying orange is a dark color. It's really confusing me because to me, orange is a very bright color. Look at your nails. They're like shining.
it is bright. No, it is bright. I guess it looks like fire to me.
Oh, okay.
It's similar to fire.
All right. That makes more sense now.
Once this next video comes out, it'll make a little bit more sense.
Okay.
So we are going to be telling a story with this album, top to bottom.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's a light side, a dark side, and then everything in between.
Wow. Years in the making. When did the process for this album start? How long ago?
It's evolved. Again, it's like some old songs, some new songs, so it's a mixture. It started, I mean, I was writing a lot of songs, not particularly for an album, but a lot of songs like 3 years ago, and then 2 years ago, a year ago, this year. I mean, they keep, and they kept topping one another. So I'm like, all right, swap. And then the deluxe is gonna be crazy too. So
What a problem to have.
I'm really excited.
Daniel Zolot, any final thoughts over there?
Are you just completely sick of these Gaga comments? Because I would be if I were you. That's what I thought. That's what I would have done as well.
I've never done that before. That was pretty fun. No, but it felt like the right moment.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
But literally, I love her. I love her. It's just
There's-
funny how people are like, you must have sang her growing up a lot. And I listened to her and I loved her, of course, because she's a legend. But I really like, it was funny in competitions, I would sing like Mariah, Celine, Whitney. But like, it's funny how like your career could take a different path. So I chose a more theatrical, route
Yeah.
and a more like theatrical way of singing because that's just natural to me. And so it is flattering. I mean, she's incredible. She's a genius. I love her.
Oh, she's fantastic, but it just must be frustrating that every time you put something out or do an interview, everybody's like, Gaga, Gaga, Gaga. You're like, yeah, but I'm
like,
Ava.
look, I'm 5'2", blonde hair. I get it. But my
There's
name is
more to it.
Ava.
There's more to you that is so but it is a compliment because she is an icon and she's incredible and she helped pave the way. She's
Exactly. And I remember when she got like compared to Madonna
Mhm.
and I remember how frustrating that was for her but she admired her and still does and I admire Madonna too. So I feel like everyone gets compared to people. So I have to remember that.
Did this haircut come out of an accident or was it like, yo, what if we do one side real short and one side real long?
No, actually it was an accident. I'm not even kidding you.
Really?
Like who thinks of doing this? No one. You'd have to be literally psycho.
Yeah, but it's
So
visually really cool.
Thank you. It was an accident. I was cutting so much. I had like 5 wigs. I like went nuts. I like bought 5 wigs. I was like, I'm gonna try some fun stuff. I started like dyeing them different colors, and then all of a sudden, like I'm not even kidding you. I put it on. I cut it, and then I'm like, people think this is a fake story. It's not a fake story. I'm literally cooking and I burn everything I'm like baking. Like I burnt my cookies. So I run downstairs, almost fall down the stairs. I almost make like a Humpty Dumpty fall. Like I was like running so fast. I'm like, no, the house is burning. So I was like literally the whole smoke was everywhere. And so I was really upset about my cookies because I was looking forward to eating the cookies. And I was by myself. I go back upstairs, kind of like moping, sad. I had no more cookies left. And then, I look in the mirror. It's such a stupid story.
You look in the mirror and your whole life changes.
Such a stupid story. And then I look in the mirror and like my life changes. Exactly. I'm like, oh my God, sweet, but psycho.
It was worth the burn cookies in the long run,
Oh my
right?
God, I'm legit paying you guys. No, but I'm not kidding. That's what happened.
I mean, I understand like losing cookies is emotional and it would ruin my day for a while, but this was a huge win. Like this was a huge bright spot.
I'm like, I'm happy I didn't cut the other side yet. This is it. And
Yeah.
then my fans eventually called it the max cut. So yeah.
It's good. So I mean, Dan, if you saw her with this hair, how could you ever fucking forget it? Like, where
Oh
are
my
you
God,
at?
thank you.
I don't know if she had the hair when we first met. I don't think she did.
Wait, you froze again. There you are.
Oh, I was saying when we met, because we did. When we met, I don't think you had the hair. I wish you did. I would have remembered the hair.
Yeah.
You didn't have it.
I didn't know. It was like a year and a half before I released Sweet But Psycho. Yeah.
Yeah, but the hair is very recognizable. I mean, you got a whole logo out of it. It's become part of your brand.
It's weird. And it's like, can I be honest? I put on a wig like at this shoot I was at the other day that was the same length. And literally it didn't feel like me at all. I was like, who is this girl? Like, I don't know who she is. So I'm literally the max cut now. It's really weird. I wish we were in person right now. I could come with a mask, say 6 feet.
Hey, maybe for the album we'll figure that out. I would really love to do that. And I thank you for your time and your energy today. And yeah, next time we hang is in
Oh
person.
my God, please. Oh my God,
Yeah.
please. Let's do it.
I would really love to make that a reality, and I think we can. Ava Max, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. You're amazing. And you too, Dan. And I mean, nice to see you again, Dan.
Good to see you again. Is that a screen behind you, or is that a real window?
That's a real window.
Wow, that's a great window you got there.
Yeah, I actually am in Laguna Beach at the moment.
Oh,
Ooh.
beautiful.
I came here on June 1st and I'm leaving August 1st. So I wanted to stay for like 2 months, like somewhere different that I've never been. And I don't know. I like it.
Lagoon,
it's just-
are
I
you
like
like
the-
near the beach?
I'm still not tan. It's sad.
Are you
yeah.
are you going to the beach?
Probably this weekend. I've been busy. I've been doing a lot of things. So it's like funny how I came here thinking I was going to be on the beach every day, but
But still, it changes the energy, right? To get work done, it's good. It's healthy to have something different to be around and be in.
exactly. Because I'm always in LA. And so I'll be back in LA August 1st. Maybe we can do the interview then.
No, would love to. Seriously, we'll make it work, and it'll be around the album. So
Oh my God. Yes. Thank you so much.
whatever it takes. Hey, thank you for hanging out, Eva. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having the interview. Thank you guys.
Love.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mwah.
Later.